this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone. Welcome to the tech zone. We on our tech flow, and there's still a global market in case you didn't know. So many guests, we not trying to impress. Just want to pass off the info. You can do the rest. See, there's no escaping tech. It's part of our lives. Keep every individual connected worldwide. But all this innovation is more than entertainment. It's people like you paving a new way every day. So let your imagination run wild with all the things that you dream about. Cause the tech zone is on now with Paul Amadeus Lane. Blah. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the Tech Zone. So glad that you guys decided to come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. That wasn't me singing on the track. That was my buddy Uni singing on the track. But I'm so glad that you decided to spend some time with me. On our show today, we're going to talk about artificial intelligence. Should we be afraid? Should we embrace it? We're also going to talk about ditching the keys. Not the keys to the kingdom, because we always need those keys to the kingdom, but we're talking about ditching the keys, locking doors, doing all these other things with keys. Is there another solution out there that can help you and I, especially in the business realm? But we're going to talk about that coming up in our second segment of the show. Only 2 segments today because we have some great guests and a lot of great info we want to talk about. But before we start, always connect with me, PaulAmadeusLane.com. We are having a website facelift. It will be debuted soon. I've seen some of the progress, and the web team is really making me look pretty good. Props out to them. And if you're listening, ABC News Radio, iHeartRadio, live stream, YouTube, all the other formats, I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, like, share these episodes, these segments. And if there is a particular part of technology you would like for me to delve into and maybe have some experts on to talk about it, please always reach out to me. The best way to reach out to me on social media or connect with me is PaulAmadeusLane.com. That's the website. All right, you ready? Let go. Let's do this, all right? Artificial intelligence. We have seen a lot of movies, a lot of conspiracy theorists talk about artificial intelligence. And you know where I stand on this side of the debate. I say embrace it. It's a part of life. It's something that's here to stay. My next guest is going to talk about what AI is, how we're using it in our lives, and what his company is doing to make sure that we have the most pleasant artificial intelligence experience ever, and how they're introducing this to the educational world and beyond. And I am so excited right now to have my next guest with me. You know, I'm a huge supporter of AI and the things coming out of artificial intelligence. And I'm joined right now by Dr. Marcel Saucet, joining me from Paris. How you doing, Marcel?
I'm really good. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. And just let our listeners know about the California connection, you being over at the University of San Diego. So it's all about California love right now, mixed in with a little bit of love from Paris, right?
Exactly, yeah. 10 years in California, I still love Paris, but I still love California.
Definitely. And I'm going to go visit Marcel one day in Paris. We're going to hang out. That's what we're going to do.
Exactly. Really good job.
Hey, Marcel. So what I wanted to do is start our conversation off with, maybe there's ones out there who are listening for the first time or may not be aware of artificial intelligence. So you mind giving us an explanation of what is artificial intelligence, please?
Okay, so in a couple of hours, I can do that, but I'll try to do it in 60 seconds.
Let's do it.
So basically right now in the world, you have two kinds of AI, of artificial intelligence. One that we're calling weak, another one that we're calling strong AI. To give you an example, have you seen the movie Terminator?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so Terminator, Schwarzenegger, is a strong AI. This kind of AI thinks by itself. So it has a consciousness, it can cry, it can understand human feelings. It's like in The Matrix too. But this kind of AI does not exist yet. Right now, what we're using and that we're calling as an AI is the weak AI. This kind of artificial intelligence is just a giant algorithm which can calculate from a huge, an incredible huge quantity of data, which can calculate everything. Everything like all the possible moves when you're playing chess. That's why 20 years ago, a weak AI did beat the world champion Yuri Kasparov. Why? Because this weak AI knows all the possible moves. But it's not right now what we're calling, Cortana or Siri or Alexa. All these kinds of AI are weak AI. Just a giant algorithm, a giant computer, which knows so many things that you think that it thinks by itself. But it's not Terminator, not yet.
Marcel, when you were talking, it kind of made me think of IRobot when Sonny said, "I did not kill the man." Was Sonny part of a strong AI?
This one is a strong AI, which follows the three laws of Asimov, because IRobot, it comes from the book from Asimov, and this strong AI, once again, does not exist yet. But a couple of specialists says that we should meet a strong AI around 2030.
All right. So it's coming really just around the corner. Before we blink our eye, is definitely going to be here. Now, you kind of talked about Siri, you talked about Alexa. How are we using AI in our lives now besides the Siris and the Alexa? Are there any other forms of AI that we're using out there?
Yes, I'm going to give you a good one. Of course you are using, do you have an iPhone or do you have a Samsung?
Well, I have the superior Samsung device.
That's good. You have the Paul Amadeus Lane cell phone.
You got it, my friend, you got it.
So if you have an iPhone, for example, or if you have a Google phone, or if you have a Samsung phone, let's say that you take a selfie of you, send a snap, and Google Picture right now is able to scan all your pictures and see, for example, that Paul loves going to different places. Let's say that, for example, you're in front of the Golden Gate in San Francisco, okay? Google Picture understands that there are mountains, that there is a bridge behind you, and it also notices that you are smiling in front of the bridge. So all these elements analyzed together, this is the analysis of a huge quantity of data that I told you earlier, that I talked about earlier. So it understands that you love bridges, so that you love traveling, because this bridge is not in your current town, and you're smiling, so you love traveling. A couple of minutes after scanning this picture, you will receive an advertisement through your Gmail account about a trip in San Francisco, for example.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense, because sometimes I know my wife, she gets amazed sometimes, like when she surfs the web or looking at some things, and then there's an advertisement that comes up, about something that she looked at or something that she's liking. And she's like, how do they know that? It's all about the artificial intelligence. And Marcel, you talked about how the movies and TV shows depict strong AI in a kind of scary or frightening way. But what are some of let's talk about the benefits of AI in everyday life. You kind of talked about with the Google Lens, when you take a picture and they get all the different the data and everything, and it kind of does the thinking for you. what are some other benefits that we have, and how can that help us in everyday life? Because you have some folks, and I'm probably going to get some nasty emails and some tweets from some people, but the baby boomers, they're like, no, I don't want it, don't need it. But what are some of the benefits, behind AI and what we use in our everyday life?
So I'm going to talk about one thing which can be a benefit, but maybe you are going to consider that it's an intrusion or manipulation in your life. And actually, my next book is about the artificial intelligence and the self-manipulation that big companies are implementing all over our lives. So basically, I'm going to give you a first example. Tinder, obviously.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So now the artificial intelligence, the weak AI, is capable without any criteria, psychographic, demographic criteria that you gave to Tinder. Tinder is capable just analyzing your behavior. They are capable to give you recommendations on what on a profile that you would enjoy. So can you imagine? You think that you're heterosexual, and Tinder is just recommending you your man, and they are recommending you man. So you discover that you're gay thanks to Tinder, because it knows everything about you.
That's true.
So you consider that it's a benefit.
No, you make a very good point, and I know like a lot of my media colleagues now who work for different networks and everything, they're really starting to implore this when it comes to viewing habits that ones have. That AI is working, and they say, hey, you might want to watch this show with Paul and Marcel. It's going to be a #1 hit. We see all those different things out there. And you bring up a very good point. Are there any other different type of examples out there, too, about how it's affecting our everyday life and the benefits of it?
So another example, but just, we need to understand, and the people who are hearing us now need to understand that AI is just a question of analyzing all these quantities of data that we are living every day. A Google car, for example, can collect 300 billion of data every day, but a human brain cannot analyze this giant quantity of data. So we need specific machines named machine learning to analyze this data. So a benefit of, sorry, I'm going to advertise my laboratory of innovation. Can I do that?
Hey, let's do it. Hey, because I'm all about innovation, and I enjoy what you're doing. I appreciate your swag and your hustles. Definitely go ahead and do it.
I prefer to know if it's possible. So basically, you know that I'm a professor at the University of San Diego School of Law, but the thing is that I'm also running an artificial intelligence company, and this artificial intelligence company is named Nestor. So we have designed a program in education. It's the machine learning. Basically, have you followed e-learning class before, Paul?
Yes, I have.
Okay, perfect. So maybe you noticed that it's a little bit boring.
Yeah.
Not really exciting, right? Absolutely. So Nestor is the program the software that we designed. And what happens? You're watching, the video. You're watching, for example, Professor Marcel, or you're watching Paul talking about explaining something, and the camera of Nestor is on. And following the direction of my eyes, if they are going to the left or to the right, it means that I'm thinking about something else. Or, if I take my lip like this, it means that I'm thinking about something which is not on the screen. The facial recognition of Nestor will understand that you are not focused on the class. At the end of the class, of the e-learning class, Nestor is going to change automatically all the questions of the exams and ask you questions only about moments where you did not listen to the class.
I love that.
So it's possible to pass the exam, to understand the class, to pass the class if you were not focused 200%. It's a good benefit. First thing.
That's
second
awesome.
Thing. Yeah, it's great, huh? The second thing, the machine learning is so strong, even if it's a weak AI, that after 4 or 5 lectures, Nestor and the 300 different facial recognition movements analysis, Nestor is capable with all this data to tell you that, for example, every 2 minutes, 27 seconds, you take your cell phone for watching your texts. It's going to tell you in 10 seconds, normally you are going to be disconnected or you are going to be inattentive. So the machine learning can predict the future. How? It's like in the Matrix. The Oracle knows the future because she knows the past of the Matrix. She knows everything in the past of the people, all the data of everybody. So she can predict the future. And this is right now one of the big stakes of AI and a big benefit, because we are going to help millions of students and post-students in the world with really cheap artificial intelligence softwares, which are going to follow and coach so many people in the world.
Wow. I'm like blown away. Kind of took me back to being in school when I wasn't paying attention, and I wish I had my glasses on right now, but my teacher would put her glasses down and be like, you have to pay attention. so and I like this because, let's face it, education is not cheap. So we want to make sure everyone gets the bang for their buck, pay attention, so that they can really learn, the subject that they are a part of. And I think this is amazing. Now looking at Nestor AI, what made you create that company? Were you always into technology and maybe breaking down things and analyzing things? What made you create this company?
So basically, I conducted a PhD in innovation around 15 years ago. And when I moved to the US, I always thought, about innovation, about breaking the rules, but not the law. For professor in business schools and school of law, it's really important. But I started a company, and we're dealing with a lot of big companies all around the world. My offices are in California, in Paris, in Dubai. And, I had this student 2 years ago. He knew that I was in business, and not only a professor, so a practitioner and not only a theoretician. And he told me that there was a new a story which was incredible. It was in 2016, and I say hello to Jeremy, who gave me the idea of Nestor AI. Actually, he lives in Riverside, in San Bernardino. I don't remember exactly. And he told me that there was this interesting study. So students, during a lecture, during a full course, sent emails to their professor during 6 or 7 weeks. Okay? And they received answers, they did chat with the professor, they saw the professor during the lecture, and after 8 weeks, professionals and scientist people told the students that it was an artificial intelligence which answered to the emails. And not one student, not a single student noticed that it was not a man who answered, and it was 2 years ago.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
That is something, because I know chatbots, you can always tell when it's a chatbot doing it. But that's pretty cool. So they had no idea they were communicating with an AI.
Yes, and think about the chatbots. When you go, for example, on American Airlines, the chatbot is going to say, "Hey, Paul, how are you doing? Good. Okay, how can I help you with? I would like to book this flight ticket." So it's basically it's a simple relationship. It's a simple conversation that you can teach to your chatbot. But with students on a specific topic, with academic questions, scientific formulas, etc., it's much more complex. So when he told me this, I thought that universities in the world would need a big, a big shake. We need to change the world with education. And it came, in my mind. Oh, it could be great if you could watch a video, a learning video, and the artificial intelligence is watching you and is telling you, you're not listening, and we change the questions of the quiz. And then we can have now, instead of paying, or maybe you will have in the future, people who will pay at the University of San Diego School of Law $60,000 per year for a year of study. You could have 60,000 people, young men, young women in Bangladesh or Pakistan who could pay $1 for being coached by an artificial intelligence for watching the same class.
That's true. You bring up a very good point. And speaking about technology, were you always into technology when you were younger, or was it something that, as you gotten older, you kind of gravitated towards? Were you like me, always into tech?
Okay, this is the bad point. I'm not a nerd. I have always a pen. I'm not sure that you see it. Oh, you see my pen?
Yes.
And
definitely.
my note. And I'm not a tech guy. I'm an innovator. So one of the books that I wrote in the past was named Innovator. So I'm an innovator. I'm not an inventor. I see the product when it's finished. I see it. I can design it in my mind, you know, but I see the benefit that it can bring to the customer.
Absolutely.
But I'm working with teams, my teams, and I think about Nicolas, who's the co-founder of Nestor, who designed, you know, all the details of the technological approaches and all the devices. But I'm just seeing the final results. I see the features, I see the future too, and all the details of the devices, but I'm not implementing these technological details. And another thing about me, I'm a real innovator because I love new experiences. For giving you an example, I'm celebrating my 8th month. You ready? I did quit cell phones.
What? You have no cell phone no more?
No cell phone no more. Of course, I'm using Skype.
Right.
I have phones in my different offices all around the world. I'm 14 hours per day on the internet, working with my laptop, but just 20, 25 minutes per day. I'm just not connected. No cell phones anymore. And you know what? It's just fantastic.
Yeah, I bet it is, because, you know, sometimes we are so glued to these cell phone devices that we don't communicate. We don't, you know, have a social interaction with people even in the same room. So I applaud you for that, my friend. Was it hard?
No, because it's really easy to, people will think, okay, it's impossible to quit cell phones. In 2009 or 2010, even in 2015, I would never do that. But now, you know, I'm traveling a lot. I work all the time. And, you know, in taxi now in Paris, you have, for example, Wi-Fi. You go to the airport, in the plane, in the train, in the train station, at Starbucks, in your offices, at your house. You have internet everywhere. So it's just, you know, a question of just being a little bit disconnected a couple of minutes per day. That's why I decided to quit them. And I can guarantee you, wow, I'm super focused on my objectives. And that's, of course, I'm always connected. I'm answering my email. You can join me through Messenger, Skype, or emails. And yeah, it's great.
No, that is so cool. And you kind of touched on something too that I wanted to kind of go back to, and that was how you are an innovator. And we're starting to see when technology really made a serious boom in the way that we live. We saw that innovators and, let's say, tech heads coming together and creating technology to mushroom to where it's at today. And I think being an innovator is kind of like the catalyst behind, you know, a lot of technology. You know, you have that innovative mind, and you can see past the vision to the reality. And that's what I love about innovation and innovators like yourself. And I tell you, without you guys, the tech world would not be where it is today, because I've talked to a lot of innovators out there, and you guys are awesome and amazing. So I wanted to give you your props about being an innovator out there. All right, definitely do it. You know,
excuse me, sorry to interrupt. You know this beautiful story about Walt Disney and his grandson. Yeah. The grandson of Walt Disney was in Disney World or Disneyland. I don't remember which Disney resort it was, with his father. And the grandson said, can you imagine, Dad, if Grandpa could be here and could see this resort and all this giant theme park about Disney? And the dad said, but your grandpa saw it.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. I love that analogy and that story. I'm going to use that one day, and I'm definitely going to give you props for it when I do it. Hey, but before I let you go, we know you're an award-winning published author, a lot of books on the market, books in marketing. You've done a lot of things. What else are you working on? Can you share it with us?
Right now?
Right now.
So I run, so my laboratory in innovation is a group of different companies. We have an advertising agency. So you will love it because we are using, Nestor artificial intelligence, but for advertising brands in the streets. So let's say, for example, that you are in front of a shop. What's your favorite brand?
My favorite brand is, Nike.
Okay, perfect. So let's say that you are in an outlet or in front of the Nike store in LA, and you are walking and suddenly you hear a voice and you see a screen with a camera, a small camera and a screen with a person which is digitalized. And this screen just says, hello. So you're watching the screen. Let's say that you're not smiling. Nestor knows that you're not smiling. Right? So Nestor is going to tell you, yes, you, sir, who is not smiling, because Nestor knows that you're a man. So it creates a conversation, a dialogue, and then you are going to smile. So Nestor is going to tell you, yes, now you are smiling. How are you doing today? Blah, 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 blah. And then at the end of the small conversation, would you like to come in? We have special discounts today, and you can come in and visit the Nike store. So it's a way to, interact with customers and invite them to come into the store. But the thing is that let's say now that in 3 years, you are in Singapore or in Paris in front of the Nike store. What will happen?
They were probably...
Nestor is going to tell you, hey, how are you doing today? I never forgot you.
Wow.
Yes, I have not forgotten you since the 13th of May, 2018. You were in Los Angeles and we had a chat together. And now, Paul, you're going to think, what? Yes, it's me, it's Nestor. We had a chat. You would like to come in? The prices are much more interesting than 3 years ago. And I remember that you bought a beautiful orange t-shirt because it's just a question of collecting data. This is artificial intelligence.
Wow. I am blown away of what we have to look forward to. And Marcel, you and your organization and companies being at the forefront of this, I think really is going to touch the lives of how we live and make this life a lot easier when it comes to AI. And we appreciate what you're doing. Now, before I let you go, how can one find out more information about Nestor AI, find out about your books, your other companies? What's the best way they can do that?
So let's do the traditional way. Just Google Marcel Saucé. And I have a website with my researches, my books. My books are on Amazon, are really good, really cheap. Buy them. And you have also my company. Just Google Nestor AI and Marcel Saucé or street marketing Marcel Saucé. You could see all the different things that we are doing. And I would be happy to share a cup of coffee anytime. All my teams will be ready for you. And Paul, it was a pleasure to talk to you. I love talking about artificial intelligence and all the problems that we can meet in the future with AI, because we'll have a lot of benefits. But guys, all be careful. If I put cell phone, it's also because they are collecting data. They, big companies, be careful with your life, huh?
Absolutely. And well said, Marcel. And we look forward to catching up with you real soon. And you can let us know how everything's going in the AI sphere.
Good. So I hope that you will invite me for my next book about AI.
Absolutely. Consider it done, my friend. It's an honor to have Dr. Marcel Saucé on with me to talk about Nestor AI, to talk about being at San Diego State University. Hopefully I didn't get that wrong. Aztecs, Gauchos, I don't know. Don't hate me, but enjoyed his conversation just about artificial intelligence and what they're doing in the educational realm. That's awesome. Gone are the days of the teacher pulling their glasses down, looking at you with their nose pinched. Mr. Lane, why aren't you paying attention? Now we have an AI to do it. I think that's really, really cool. All right, when we get back, we're going to talk about ditching the keys. Are you tired of losing your keys, especially office keys? And what if you're a business owner or office manager? You have that one employee like myself, lose keys. You got to call a locksmith out. If someone quits or get fired, the expense is enormous. My next guest coming up in the second segment is going to talk about what they are doing in this realm of innovation and how it's really just pretty awesome. We're going to unlock that coming up right after these messages.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul, Amadeus, Lane in the tech zone.